Hello and welcome to PoE for Dummies, episode 30, Tormented Spirits and Rogue Exiles. In the next few episodes, the mechanics of the game are going to be combined because they can happen simultaneously or within the spectrum of one another. So Rogue Exiles and Tormented Spirits you might encounter completely randomly in your maps when you run around and so on. And those mechanics give you additional rewards, but they have additional, well, let's call them downsides. For Tormented Spirits, those are the green spirits that fly around and they are trying to find a rare or unique enemy that they can go in, inhabit, and so on, and they give them different modifiers, with, of course, increasing their rewards in the end. While on the other hand, Rogue Exiles are basically us, exiles that went rogue. There's around 20 or 30 of them. They are different kinds, they do different abilities and so on, different builds. They are sometimes difficult to kill, sometimes not, but they also have their own set of rewards they can drop. And also, if you encounter a rogue exile, they can have an icon on their head. If you have it specced out, that will give you a specific type of reward. So how do you access this content? For Tormented Spirits, it can be two ways. One is randomly you can encounter Tormented Spirits, or your maps can have a Tormented Spirits, that's a modifier on a map roll, or you can do a Scarab. So trying to go from rusted through polished, gilded, and winged scarabs, they give you additional tormented spirits. For Rogue Exiles, that's not the case. Rogue Exiles just happen to happen on the map in its own realm, basically, but you can enhance their percentage via passives. So I will go through how they look right now, just so you would know, and otherwise that will cover the base, and then we will cover the points what you can spec into to see how they work as well. So in the beginning of my map, you can see the possessed monsters here. So these monsters with green flames are called possessed or touched monsters, and they have a tormented spirit residing inside them that enhance their abilities and so on. And their rewards as well. Now, because this is a regular scoured map, I do a lot of damage with this, so I will try to mouse over at least the modifier. You can see the modifier here in green, Mutilator's Grip. So all tormented modifiers happen on a mob, and you can see what the modifier is called. Unfortunately, due to there being a lot of modifiers that you can actually get, trying to learn their name or names is going to take some time. So keep that in mind. There can also be more than one tormented spirit in a single enemy, so keep that in mind as well. Now that's how they look. They also have a little green around them, and when you kill them, they basically throw a beam of light that basically shows you like their rewards and something, but there's no rewards because of loot filter hiding them. Now at 111, there are two mechanics. So we will see Rogue Exile and a Tormented Spirit. This here is a Rogue Exile witch, if I'm not mistaken, called Igna Phoenix. Yes, Igna Phoenix. And you can, of course, on the PoE Wiki website, you can, of course, click on and see what their abilities are, what the microtransactions they use, and so on. So Igna Phoenix has a small RF, and on the right side, you can see possessed monsters again. So she has energy shield and so on. She's one of the mobs that she throws like fire from the sky and so on, but that's basically it. Possessed monsters, of course, are covered, and the last but not least is the tormented spirit that is going to appear on the right side here on the screen in just a few seconds, and you will see how a tormented spirit actually looks. Wait, did it appear? Aha, it's appearing. There it is. So this is how a tormented spirit actually looks. It's a spirit that's basically trapped, it's flying around, and it's trying to inhabit the mob, and you will see it entering a mob and the mob turning a greenish tint, and that's basically when the monster becomes possessed. So that's how the function of the mechanic is. Now let's look at the passives. These two mechanics are kind of short, but they will all go into a bigger picture. Now for Rogue Exiles have 3 wheels starting from the bottom left. We have your maps have additional chance to contain a Rogue Exile, and wild Rogue Exiles in your maps have 50% chance to have additional rewards. Rogue Exiles in your map have 100% more life, basically double life. Wild Rogue Exiles are Rogue Exiles that are spawned randomly within the area. Not to be confused with the area contains Rogue Exiles, because the area contains X amount of Rogue Exiles. These are just the random added on top of them. So that's the wheel 1. Wheel 2, let's go with this one, is Rogue Exiles have additional chance to drop currency item or chance to drop an additional currency item. And map bosses have 20% chance to be accompanied by 2 Rogue Exile bodyguards, which is Rogue Exile bodyguards take 50% less damage and have additional rewards. Those are the rewards you can see above their heads. They can give you currency, items, and so on, same as Legion, lieutenants, generals, and so on. And there's chance for them to spawn too. And the last wheel for Rogue Exiles, which includes Tormented Spirits, that's why I'm including it in the same video, is chance for Rogue Exiles to appear in pairs, pairs, and pairs. The right point is your maps have 8% chance to contain 20 additional Rogue Exiles. These stack with the previous ones because it's additional. That's Ruckus. And the last one is Rogue Exiles in your maps are possessed by a Tormented Spirit. I intentionally don't have this node picked up because of bad memories. But Rogue Exiles being possessed by a Tormented Spirit gives you additional rewards, but it makes them more difficult as well. Now, when it comes to Tormented Spirits, Torment has 3. Yes, 1, 2, 3, with one big node I will cover in the end. So let's start with this one. Small ones, Tormented Spirits have increased duration. Basically, when you aggro them, they start running away, and they have a set duration before they disappear and drop some loot if they don't find a target. This basically increases that time. This one, Paranormal Meeting. Your maps are haunted by an additional Tormented Spirit. Just one extra Tormented Spirit. Then there is this one in the middle. Increased quantity of items dropped by possessed or touched monsters in your maps. Possessed monsters are the monsters we saw. Touched, we are going to cover just now. Up to 5 rare monsters in each of your maps are possessed and their minions are touched. Possessed monsters are the rare monsters or unique monsters. Touched monsters are the smaller ones, the ones that accompany that rare monster. Those are the small flame ones. Those are what you saw. I had that picked just for the sake of the video, just so you can see those green flames and so on. And the last one is maps have chance to be haunted by an additional Tormented Spirit. That's just an increased chance. The notable here says map bosses have 10% chance to be surrounded by Tormented Spirits. I think that's 3 if I'm not mistaken, or up to 3. And 30% or up to 6. 30% more quantity of items dropped by possessed monsters in your maps. That's basically just more quantity. Now, this node is very good when you combine it with a keystone notable, Speaker of the Dead. Tormented Spirits in your maps can possess players for 20 seconds, and Tormented Spirits in your maps cannot possess monsters. What you do here is you play a build, basically you touch everything. You go and touch a Tormented Spirit, and then you want as many rare monsters as possible to increase the rewards, and you touch Tormented Spirit, the Tormented Spirit inhabits you, and then you walk around and you literally walk through enemies, and they will get possessed with Tormented Spirits and so on. You basically want to multiply as many monsters with Tormented Spirits as possible to get as many rewards as possible. But I will now, for the end of this segment, cover just a few of Tormented Spirits just random ones. Tormented Spirits, let's say Betrayer, only spawns from a Sextant modifier. That's where you can find your Tormented Spirits as well. Spirit's Touch, Betrayer's Touch, creates delayed exploding orbs on death. That's the damaging affix, whatever. And then Spirit's Grip, Betrayer's Grip, drops an additional veiled item on death. Chance to drop a double veiled item on death. So there's Touch, there's Grip. Touch are abilities that they do. Grip is the modifiers they also do, and additional things they can either drop or have additional modifiers. These are basically just mods that can be either very dangerous or they can be nothing for your build. Let's go another one. Necromancer periodically summons Ghost Flame, summon Raging Spirit minions, summons a Skeleton Warrior minion on death, and periodically several Skeleton Warrior minions. It's a summoner. And let's do one more. Let's do Miner. Only spawns from Haunted Tomb Delve nodes, which can also happen. Keep that in mind. Miner's Touch gains a frenzy charge for each 25% maximum life lost. And Bone Pile summon Ghost Flame, SRS minions, and periodically fires Acid Rolling Magma. After delay, summons Awoken Giants with Miner's Grip, and you can read that as well, using Blade Vortex, Acid Rolling Magma, and Piercing Projectile, which is, again, the same thing. For Rogue Exiles, you can read what they do based on the website and so on. You can open the new page and list them, what they do, what the skills they have, microtransactions that they have as well. Some Rogue Exiles will be very difficult for your build, some won't. But this will cover Tormented Spirits and Rogue Exiles. There's a few more mechanics where they can pop out, like strongboxes or shrines, which I will cover in one of the next videos. But that is it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like. Please sub if you don't mind. And it's already been 30 videos. So once again, thank you for watching. Leave a comment if you have any questions or something. Thank you once again, and I will see you in the next video.